Happy
Yeah,
Monday,
they're
Trash
already
Bandits.
chat.
They're so fast. I'm so confused.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say, Jess, I was so excited when you were talking about us having a musical number and you mentioned Waitress, and I was just like, yes, I love it.
I got to see Waitress. I think I saw it in 2019. So before the pandemic. And it, like, I saw it at the Fox, and it was like, oh, the best. My favorite to date is probably Book of Mormon, though, just because it's so irreverent.
Oh,
I remember watching it, and I have like friends who are Mormons. I used to nanny for a Mormon family, but let's be real, like they're kind of weird. And I remember watching that musical and just like mouth open the whole time, but also like dying laughing. It's so good.
Yep.
I'll stop stuffing my pin now.
I saw Waitress the same weekend I saw Great Comet for the first time.
Ooh.
And I was like, well, this is it. Like, musical theater doesn't need to be anything else ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would be fine with these two. Like, that's fine for me. Because musical theater still has that element of, like, real musical theater boppy.
Yeah.
This is a show.
Yeah.
And Great Comet was just wildly transformative on all levels. So, like,
yeah. I'm just sad that I missed whenever they did Waitress with Jason Mraz. And I think he did it with Sarah Bareilles. And I was just like, oh, how much money I would have paid.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Kilted. Hello, Elle Hanley. Hiya.
What?
No, so there's one called First Date? Blind Date? Oh, no, I can't think. I think it's First Date.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was Zachary Levi, and I would have given anything to see that with him. Like, there's a terrible bootleg of it on YouTube that I've watched multiple times.
Of course.
But I'm like, to actually see that would have been dope.
Is it him and Krista Rodriguez? Is Krista Rodriguez in it?
That sounds right. Yeah, I think so.
Like, that's why I saw Comet, because they were like, hello, excuse me, Josh Groban is going to be in a musical on Broadway. And I was like, I will pay $200 to see that.
Yes,
I will. Yes.
Do you take PayPal, Venmo? I can send it right now.
My soul. That's fine.
That's fine.
Thing.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Soon.
I know.
I have tickets for Hamilton as soon as this is all over. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Despite the group's general opinion about Hamilton, it's fine.
The group is it's really just me.
It's you and Tony.
It's me.
Aw.
It's only because I just love his first musical so much more.
That's fair.
And like, so I have also like, I like yelling about things. I don't know if you've noticed.
I do too, just usually on Twitter. So
yeah, I'm a fan. If there's a hard stance to be taken, I will take it. How is everyone tonight?
I just like Panda Time. Panda Time makes me happy.
Ooh,
Panda Time.
What happens with Panda Time?
Not much, which I love. We just sit and we eat. I'm really down for. Hi.
Wait,
I know.
Jess, I love that you have. I just noticed that your chalkboard.
It's Tony P.
Quote say.
It's hard to
see.
Not
getting paid or having fun. I don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Tony, Panda Time is now. Now is Panda Time. And Panda Time is life.
Yes.
Water is the essence of wetness. And wetness is the essence of...
This all makes sense to me.
Anyway, what's up, y'all?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hi, WF Professor. How are you?
Yeah.
It feels some Panda Time.
It feels like it's been a while. I missed you.
We had the week off.
Yeah.
Future Skeleton. I did just make a Zoolander reference because I am still existing in the year 2000. Although it's a funny movie. Actually, I haven't watched it in like a decade, so I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
I have not. Aww.
Boo.
That's
Love,
adorable.
only love, no love.
So
Don't worry.
cute.
I will yell about it later. No.
Ah.
Well, we'll see.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
get married. Tony, we're trying.
Working on it.
Oh. Okay, I also have to know what the rest of your shirt says because I'm very curious.
Oh, it says "Lady in the streets, freak in the spreadsheets." Because I'm an accountant.
I love that so much.
We get nothing. We get literally nothing to be accountants. Like everyone hates us. No one thinks we're funny. So I got this one shirt.
Oh my
That
god, I love
is
it.
hilarious. I love that. Hero says hey. Oh, bye.
Yeah, WF Professor, here is fingers crossed hoping that my internet cooperates. But you might get lots of fun freeze frames for my face because apparently that's what we do now. So I try to always give you something fun to watch.
Okay. Everyone loves tax law. It's the most fun. Sorry, I was responding to Future X Skeleton.
Yeah. That's sweet. Okay. What do you all think of doing some yelling?
Let's do
it.
Let's
Just one at a time, please.
do it.
Hey, you trash pandas. You're listening to In Addition with your adequately perfect hosts, Stephanie Crugnola and Emily Swan.
What is up, Trash Pandas? Welcome back to In Addition. I know you just recently had us in your podcatcher, but we are back officially live, real internet at twitch.tv/almostdailypod, first and third Mondays. Come join us. So hi, welcome. We're happy to be back. We are also super excited to welcome our special guest tonight. Woo woo! Thank you for joining us, Jess. Yay!
Hi! Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, yes. So this is actually fun. So Jess was nice enough to invite me onto her show, Raging Lady Boner, very recently. And even though my internet didn't cooperate, I had a great time. And so we are super excited to have her back. And actually, in honor of you being back, we flat out stole one of your topics and we want to talk about it.
It's probably my favorite topic because everyone has something they want to yell about when it comes to this topic. Even if you're not on dating apps, we all have something that and And it runs the gamut too. Like it's not just one type of person. Like literally almost every man that I see has at least one fish picture. I don't get it.
I'm like, do you all really like it? Do you like fishing that much?
That's what I want to know. Like, gentlemen, anyone with a fish in your dating profile, if you've ever had one, you don't need to tell us it's you. You can say it's about a friend. That's fine. But
that's fine.
Is it something that is in secret dude code that someone's spreading around a book that says women love fish? Like, is that like is it an internal memo that you've been handed?
I think it's like they think it's like a proof of masculinity. Like they can provide for us because they caught a fish once when they went deep sea fishing, and now like they're set for life. So
They could get
they
us
have
a
to
fish
prove
while
it.
they're on Survivor.
Yeah,
So you know
exactly.
that
Now,
I'm a hunter gatherer.
yeah, I will say if you had the picture of you with like a spear and you had speared the fish, that
Sure.
might get me. That one
Yeah.
might get me, but you just hold no, real line, real, no, all that. No, I want
like-
spear fishing or nothing.
Video where it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Elle Hanley said dead deer in the comments. I'm more of like a dead deer. Like I grew up in the South in Mississippi. I've watched deer get skinned before, but like I don't need that in my life. Like just no.
Yeah.
Well, and I think with that too, like you can say that you really like hunting, fishing, etc. in the word parts. So obviously for me, I spent time on Hinge, I spent time on Bumble. I never ventured to Tinder because I just didn't have the heart to do it or the mental fortitude. But like there are spaces for you to write things. Like you can mention that to me there, but I don't know, like the deer pictures aren't necessarily that flattering to you. And unless, again, I'm an avid hunter myself, like I feel like you've narrowed your dating pool options quite a bit with that. I don't know. That one baffles
Maybe
me.
that's what they're going for, though.
Right.
Maybe they want someone who's down with dead animals being around all the time. So
And
Yeah.
to be fair, like I don't think I would have the same visceral reaction to reading I like fishing as I do a picture of a fish or a picture of a hunter.
Yeah.
Because like for me, like my number one automatic swipe left is a gun. If you have a gun anywhere near, and like usually it's it's hunting, but like for me, I'm never going to go hunting with a person. I will never, because I can't like even thinking about the idea of hunting makes me very sad. I feel sad right now. And so like that's good to know. Like if that's you and that's what how you're representing yourself, like that's awesome. And like there are people who love that. But like that for me is my automatic. I will never enjoy or even be able to pretend to enjoy this thing that you love because I can't.
Yeah. No, I can't do that either. I would get out there and be like, I'm sorry, like sobbing the thought of like shooting Bambi. Like, I can't do it. Don't make me.
But honestly, even fishing evokes that in me. Like the idea of like catching a fish and then having to like.
Because they suffer. Like you pull them out of the water and they're like suffocating. That's sad.
It's so sad. And I know that it's like a part of this world. And like I really respect people who like hunt and like eat what they hunt and like do all that sustainably or whatever. Like I think that's a I just could never. I can't even eat meat if it looks like the animal. Like I would be a vegetarian if I weren't allergic to everything.
I was gonna say, if it still has a face, that's really hard. It doesn't need to still have a face.
That's why I'm not a big fish person. I like it's too close to its natural form for me to really enjoy it. I don't mind like beef. Give me beef and chicken all day long. I don't have to kill them myself. It's fine.
Yep. I even don't really love like chicken wings and stuff. Like I don't like anything on a bone. I eat it with a fork and knife because I like I love
that.
Oh, that's too funny. Now, see, like, and it's funny because I used to go hunting with my dad. Like, I still enjoy target shooting. I liked bow hunting. Like, I enjoyed all that. I don't like fishing. Like that one, I would rather just go and like tube float on the river. Like the fishing element to it is not necessary. Like, give me a cold beer and an inner tube, and I will float happily on the water for hours. But like with hunting now, I'm just such a slug where I'm just like, I have to get up really early and I don't want to do that. And like, but I love having like, especially because my parents live on a farm that has a lot of acreage. Like I love fresh venison. Like that's awesome. And like you said, there is a population control element to it. But I think there's a weird part about that in the dating profile side of it. And it bumps me out because I do think a lot of these guys have more depth to them, but that seems to be like the thing that they want to highlight
Yeah, if that's the foot forward they're placing, that's like what
Yeah.
they've committed to.
Yeah, you've definitely committed to this personality aspect.
I will say though, Swan, if a dude has like a full-on bow and arrow in his profile pic, yes. You mentioned bow hunting,
Yeah.
and like that I'm into. I still would be very upset,
Oh, yeah.
and I wouldn't go, but like at least I'd be like, dang, that's cool.
Also, I will say the standards that I hold men to on dating apps are not the same standards that I hold women to. So if it's like a woman holding a bow and arrow, I'd be like, hell yes. Like, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm into that.
I'm here for this Katniss Merida 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, and
Yes, and
please.
yeah, no,
Yes,
bow, like,
and.
and that's the thing, like, not even the hunting part of it, but like the target shooting, like shooting a bow is really fun and feels very powerful. So I get
Yeah.
that part of it. And I think, again, it's the difference between having a picture of it highlighted versus having it just as a mention in that. And like, we can have that conversation about it, but you're sending very specific signs to me in that if you have the pictures. But it's the same thing when it comes to political affiliation, or honestly, and I'm thinking of Bumble specifically, when it talks about what you want as far as children. And I had a number of gentlemen who either didn't have it listed or somehow we had connected and it came up. And they would be like, yep, I'm interested in having kids. And I was like, okay, then we probably shouldn't keep talking. And they're like, well, wait, why? Like, we're having a good time. I was like, because at some point, if you want to have kids, you shouldn't waste your time with me because I'm not going to change my mind.
Yeah.
I will never want to produce offspring.
Yeah. I feel like that's fair.
I will happily like invest in one that is already created. But I don't want to do the physical creation part.
The way you worded that
Yeah.
was so funny. I will invest in one that has already been made.
Anything at all?
No, I think that's true though. Like, I'm someone who does want kids, and for a while I think I would like just kind of let guys slip in who are like, I don't want kids, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, we're gonna come to a crossroads and we got to make a decision. But also, like, on politics, it's like people have to be like, no one dates across party lines, and I'm like, it's not just that I wouldn't like your politics, it's like, if you're not the same political party as me, you're not gonna like me. I'm very strongly opinionated on the things that I believe in. So yeah, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. Well, and it's a weird thing, I think, if you get into conversation with somebody and end up unmatching, that like you're not losing points for us not working out. Like, I don't know why you're upset that we're saying these things, because it's literally why would we waste each other's time? Like,
Right.
I don't get it.
That's one of the best benefits of a dating app, is that you have a chance to screen, I guess, or to have those conversations without having to, because it's emotionally draining to meet someone new, especially in the idea of like, I might date this person. And so like, to be able to have those conversations and know that like that's not in the cards for y'all, like having the chance to get that all out there is so helpful. And like, I know there's so much that is awful about and exhausting in itself about dating apps, but I think that is a nice feature, is that like you can have those conversations really, really early on before you meet the person, and not waste your time or each other's time, because it is a waste of time to try and pursue something that isn't, that later on you're gonna be on different pages of. Like, I've seen that happen in relationships where, one person is very clear about wanting babies, and the other person has definitively said they don't want babies, and then they get married, and then this person's like, well, now I want babies, and this person's like, I still don't want babies. Like, and it's so stressful to me.
How do you get to that point without having that conversation?
And they've had the conversation, like, it's been, but there's never a resolution. And I think like that is so sad and
Yeah.
scary to me. I just don't ever want to be, and like I'm lucky because Mike and I are on the same page about like most things. Like we have all the important things we're on the same page about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether, you know, I should be rocking out to Stephen Curtis Chapman Christian rock as loud as I can. Like maybe those things we're on different pages of, but like, the important things at least we know.
Do it enough and see how long it takes for it to be an important topic.
Oh, I love that. But I think it's something interesting, and this is so I didn't start. Yes, please, Tony P says I'm going to start showing up to dates with a fish. Do it. Also, you mentioned Big Mouth Billy Bass before. If you bring that and sing me the "Give me back that fillet of fish, give me that fish," I'm here for it. That's going to be a whole different date. But something that so I didn't go on dating apps until my late 20s, early 30s. So I was at a different point when I was going on them. But I think whether you're on dating apps or meeting people organically, I think the idea that the person that you're spending time with and investing in, expecting them to change at some point never works. Whether it's someone you're texting, whether it's someone you're snapping with, if you're talking to them at, you know, Bible study on Wednesday night, if you are expecting them to change at some point and you just have to wait it out, I really think you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
And heartbreak.
I agree. And I think it's like sometimes the hard part is like determining like whenever you're like, oh, I'm going to change them. Or like when it's like that sort of like subconscious, like eventually we'll be on the same page. And it's like, no, especially once you hit 30, like you can still change after 30, but we all kind of like, we're a little bit set and we get more set the older we get. So I'm definitely at the point where I'm like, no, like there's just certain things I'm not going to like try and fix with guys now. Like what, if you tell me what you are, I'm going to believe you. So
yeah.
And you shouldn't have to. Like this is a point where you can be who you want to be and say no to people you don't want to pursue. And like, that's, again, there are a lot of drawbacks, but I think there are some real positives too. Cause like my experience with dating apps was like,
do you have any experience?
brief, and I probably swiped right on like, I was on dating apps for 2 months. Because it was me, Mike, and our other friend who were all single at the same time, and we were like, yeah, let's all go on Tinder and Bumble and whatever the fuck. Like, so we went on them. I wrote Mike's dating profile for him.
Did you write it terribly? Were you just like likes fish?
This was
likes
still in my I will never date Mike ever.
Oh wow.
So no, it was very nice. And I was on for like 2 months, and I probably swiped in those 2 months. I probably swiped right on like 3 people because I was so uninterested in meeting someone.
I gotta love the standards though.
Yeah, kudos to you.
Nope. I would just spend hours swiping left on people. And like, I think we all know that subconsciously I was still very much in love with Mike, and that was driving whatever.
You just compare everyone to him. No one's Mike. So, except for those 3 guys, apparently. So
those 3 guys who like would message me and I just never responded to because I again had zero intention of meeting someone on a dating app. There was just something that I couldn't like, I don't know. I needed that time to like, that was my like, not rebound time, but that was my like processing time. I think was the time I spent looking through. It felt weird. I was just like, nope. So you want to know my automatic swipe left? Be a person, I guess. Be anyone, not
be anyone but Mike.
That's my auto swipe left. But yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. So I ended up on them after coming out of a really long relationship and was decently broken at that point. So there were times where like any shred of someone being kind of nice, I was like, oh, that's sweet. I could use like a little bit of bum. But because of that, and because I was still very guarded and very not actually interested in it, I ended up with a lot of friends who like we very quickly transitioned out of like we would ever date. But then like, and I'm thinking of one guy specifically, and it was funny. So you can set range perimeters, and I had what I thought was a very hard limit to not much younger than like 27. Because I'm like, no, they're babies. But one of them, one of the adorable little 24-year-olds snuck through, and he was very sweet. But it was just like, oh, honey, no.
Aw, sweet
No.
child.
Yeah. And like, and I was a jerk sometimes, and I felt so bad because there was time, like, he asked me one of the very generic dating questions, like, oh, what's your favorite season? I think we were talking about shows, but I was like, I really like spring, but sometimes summer is really good. Oh, no, I meant TV show. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
What's your favorite season of Gilmore Girls? Like,
I know. Like, and it was just, I was like, but like, and then it was kind of like moved into like me giving him advice. And he's just like, but you're so nice. I'm like, I am like 9 years older than you, and I don't want to babysit, but you're very sweet and you should have high standards and don't give it, don't take crap from anyone. And you get out there, sluggard, and, smack him on the ass and send him on his way. But I was like, oh my God.
If you're already in the advice giving zone while you're still in the dating app, that's when you're just like, red flag.
So that brings up a good point though, Jess. I want to know what your like go-to questions are.
To ask men, like
Yeah.
when I match with someone. So I usually pick a question that will start a debate, like a fun, good-hearted debate, or a not a good-hearted debate, and then see what happens. And it's because it's gotten to be so tedious to like look at every man's profile and make a crafted question based on them. So I just pick one question for like a week and I use that same question. So I think most recently I was asking them, how far do you think you would make it in the Hunger Games? Because I think that will tell you a lot about like one, like how empathetic they are, and like also like how honest they are with themselves about their capabilities.
Once it's bow and arrow, you're like, okay, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like you probably know what you're talking about.
How good are you at fishing? How good are you?
How good are you at fishing while like dodging spears and like hiding from people?
And giant murder hornets. Oh God. So stressful.
For a while it was like lighthearted stuff. I would ask them like, well, what about, because I'm very much like anti the combination of chocolate and mint. So I was like, you have to choose like chocolate and mint or chocolate and peanut butter. And then we would like debate about it. But I've gotten much more serious lately in my questions, and I will ask men like, I think I get some of them from TikTok. What was her question that I was asking last week? She was asking, oh, when's the last time you've cried? And you like, which is like a very serious question to ask men. You like phrase it as like a truth or dare. It's like truth or dare. And they say either one. And you're like, well, I dare you to tell me the last time you cried. And it's like either that you're going to see like how like in touch with their emotions they are, or how what they view as like their sense of masculinity. With women, it doesn't matter. Women are like, yeah, I cried yesterday. It was great.
The WF professor, I think, same. About an hour ago, maybe like 2 hours for me at this point. So like
every day. Usually like those like the dodo videos with the little
Steve says when my brother Boromir fell in battle.
So that's the thing too. Like if you can get like, and it always cracked me up because I would put so much nerd shit in my profile. Like it talks about art, it talks about video games, it talks about Comic-Con. Like it is very obvious what I enjoy. And I would match with these incredibly fit physically men who were like gym rats. And I'm like, what made you pick me? I have so many questions. Like, cool, I'm sure you're nice. But like, so with some of them, my favorite thing that I would throw out was I would send the, hey, big guy, sun's getting real low. And it was my test. I'm like, okay, play on my level. And they'd be like, what? No, the sun's still up here. And I was like, goodbye.
Well, so Mike has a friend who would, at like, she would match with someone and then at like noon or like 2 p.m., like middle of the day, she would just send them, you up? Which I think is such a baller move. It's like
it's hilarious.
The middle of the workday, you up? And then it immediately tells you like, do they have a sense of humor? Like,
Right.
how do they respond to that? Is that anything that you want to explore further? I just think it's so funny.
Yeah. The debate questions to me were very telling because it's like they'll either like give you a one-word answer, they'll just be like, whoa, this. Or they'll like try and like debate it with you, which for me, like fun debate is like I thrive off of that. So
Yeah.
very quickly I learned like whether we're gonna get along or not. So
Yep.
the crying question didn't get me very far, to be fair. So
I used to, my questions were, I never used them because I never sent anyone a message, but like my hypothetical questions are, who's your favorite Disney princess? And what's your favorite book? Because like for me, reading is such a huge part of my life, and I don't care if they don't like books. But like say that you don't like books. Like just, like let me know right off the bat that like, oh, you know, or like if it's something from your childhood, or like what's something that you have a connection to, like tell me something about yourself. And then favorite Disney princess is fun because like there are no wrong answers, there are just better answers than others. I think like someone's Disney princess tells you a lot about what they want in, like if they're a Sleeping Beauty,
oh. Yep.
no thank you. But if they're a Jasmine or a
You're looking
Belle,
like a Mulan kind of like favorite
Mulan,
Disney princess.
yes, like I just think it tells a lot about what someone is looking for in a fictional character.
I agree. Men are not as secretive as they think they are, which is funny.
It's true. Is Rocky Horror owned by Disney at this point?
Probably.
Probably. And I think Future Skeleton is right. Like, that, you know, people who are mad at online dating messages like, hey, what's up? Or how's your day going? Because they're just trying to start a conversation, and it's polite to say hi. And I think that's totally fair. And we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make something clever or like witty or telling. And I think that as long as like you're willing to have a conversation, that's the key. So even if it is a, hey, how was your day? Like if you can answer that honestly and or not like honestly, but like if you can answer it openly, that's a
and carry a conversation. Like I'm okay with like short intro questions, but like know how to keep it moving. I find personally I spend a lot of time like asking the questions, and I'm like, okay, like now it's your turn to ask a question.
For me? You have questions for me too?
Yeah.
Yes?
No questions, only answers.
No, if you want to know something, just ask. Like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Well, you would tell me if you wanted me to know.
Yeah. Any other hard swipe lefts, Jess?
Mike's message about the short intro message would reminded me like I don't tolerate text speak at all. I hate you like the you up thing is funny, but also like spelling you just like with a U. I don't. Men who are like put the WYD. Now I'm just like I almost automatically unmatch them.
Whenever I see that, it takes me forever to remember what it means.
I feel like it's new, but it's not new because I never remember. I was like, what does this mean? I can't remember.
What? And then I have to
it's not proper grammar either, which is hard.
That one confuses me.
It's not intuitive.
I'm like the Hulk. The sun has gone down, big guy. I don't know what I'm doing because I can't figure out your question.
Yeah. We get a lot of pilots because I'm in Atlanta and we have like a massive airport here. I don't tolerate pilots at all. I have a friend who was a flight attendant, and she was just like, "Don't date pilots, just don't do it." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Girl power. I'll listen to you."
Is it? Yeah. Do you think it's because on sites like Tinder, like pilots are like just here for the night or whatever?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, they basically like they're town hopping, so not all of them, I'm sure, but a lot of them use that to their advantage, even if they are married. So
Yeah.
was what I gathered from what she was saying.
Even in a small area, like a small airport where I am, it was a thing. And it was like, so how long are you here for? I'm like, well, I'm here this week, but I won't be back until the end of the month. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
I come through once a week. Hit me up then.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean,
but it also,
for some
again,
people, that's like the deal of
Right.
a lifetime. Like,
True.
No
Yeah.
commitment.
Depending on what you're looking for.
Right.
yeah,
Get
that's what I was going to say. What you're
pilot.
looking for.
Give me some airline miles, baby.
No, I love that.
Yeah, so I'm with Elle Hanley talking about grammar mistakes. Like, again, what you were saying about, short and speak and some of that funny stuff I can tolerate. But like, if it seems like you actually can't construct intelligible conversation, like sentences that make sense, like, no, no, either you're too busy to spend your time on it, or I don't know the alternative. Like, I'm like,
Right.
no. Like,
if you have this little time to like construct a proper sentence, how much time do you have to actually date someone?
Now, here's a question.
I'm ready.
Abbreviated grammar or ending every thought with a period? Because that stresses me out. Something, period. Like when every text ends in a period, to me,
it feels very pointed.
It feels so aggressive.
I get what you're saying for sure. It's like
than when like one of my sisters sends me a text and it has like a period at the end. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble.
I feel like what's worse than that is, this is kind of like a Gen X thing, but like ending every sentence or text with like 3 dots, which it like implies so much, but not to them. That's just how they talk. And I'm like, what is, like, one of my colleagues does that because he's like almost 50. And I'm just like, are you mad at me? What? Why do you keep leaving an ellipses on the end of all your sentences in our texts? I don't understand.
Yeah.
That stresses me out. But yes, like, I definitely use punctuation in a passive aggressive way, so I can see how that would be interpreted in a passive aggressive way. For sure.
That's interesting, because I have a number of friends who still contact me and use, proper punctuation, especially periods at the end, like even through our Facebook messages. So that one doesn't bug me. And honestly, like, so Kilted brought up something, he says dyslexia, and I'm not great with grammar. And there's a big difference. Like, I'm not going to call you out for little mistakes and stuff like that. And I will admit that there is a judgment that I will put on you if you don't know which version of there to use, THEIR or THERE, or they are. Like, that one gets me. But a lot of the other ones, like, I'm not great at spelling. I'm not great at grammar. But there are some where I'm just like, this concerns me that you don't have a general grasp of some of the basics. And because we are continuing to have this conversation through text, like, it's going to bug me that you can't get that one right. But yeah,
so I used to be super on the same page there. Like, I literally have told a person that I like would stop. I was not going to answer any more of his text messages until like I could read them. But that was because I knew him and he was being like lazy, like purposefully lazy about it, and it just made me so mad. Yeah. And then I learned a lot about how like grammar is a tool of white supremacist oppression. So like my standards for grammar have kind of tanked. Like,
that's fair.
I hold myself to that standard, and like I will teach my students the rules. But like my stance on that has changed significantly. I think that's being a public school teacher in underprivileged schools has kind of like,
yeah,
definitely.
in a way. And again, because it's not something I have to worry about on a daily basis or encounter, but like that for me was like a huge shift in, because I was exactly the same. I was like, yeah, no, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another rant for another day.
We do a whole other episode about that. I can talk
Sure
about all day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're rich enough to own a dictionary? Must be nice. That's how it started. Other automatic swipe lefts. What about like shirtless gym How do we feel about shirtless gym pictures?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. How many are there in the profile? Is it just one? You know, like, okay, I get it. I have a gym fit photo, I think, in mine, so it's cool. But like men who only do the gym selfies, like, and you can tell they're like flexing and like they're like they got that muscle pumped up and they got it just the right time. I'm like, oh God. I've dated meatheads before. It's like a whole different world. I can't do it again. I like carbs.
I do. I really
Well,
like carbs.
Yeah, because that goes along with something like that's a lifestyle. Like there are couples who get along and do very well eating differently. But it's also really tough to sustain that. Like it's tough to to sustain two different diets in one house for sure.
Yeah. And my situation was like he wanted to eat it the same way, and like if I varied from that way, it was like very judgmental, and I was like, I can't do this. Bye.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm gonna eat chocolate sometimes. You have to accept that, unless you want me to be a real B word sometimes. So
and I think it's the same thing. Like, again, like you were saying, like a couple of pictures where you feel like you look good, awesome. Do it, because you deserve to feel like you look good on your profile.
And if that's your hobby, like you should put that in there.
Absolutely. And I am fine with that. But as much as I enjoy parts of physical fitness, and like when the world is open, you know, I either take or teach dance like 4 to 5 nights a week. Like I like being fit. I don't go to the gym. I do now, but not as much. But if that's your main thing, we are going to have a tough time with some of the other parts. Like that's not that huge of a part of my personality, and I'm not going to be able to connect with you on that. And at a certain point, like I'm not going to get psyched about going to the gym. I go because I have to, but like I feel like if you're already at that level, you don't want to babysit me and get me to go there with you and like broaden my horizons in the gym. Like you have your set routine, and I'm just like, and I'm not here for flipping that gigantic tire that's actually bigger than I am. Like I just don't care. I'm good. I'm really okay. So, you know, it's one of those, it's no offense to them. It's just, I'm already aware that we are not going to sync, and that's okay.
Okay, I like this point from Elle Hanley, but I do think there might be a reason for it, because my next one I was going to say is group photos. Men who only put, like, if I have to spend time, like, okay, it's not this guy because he's not in this photo, and it's like never, you always pick a guy that you want it to be, and it's never that guy.
It's never them. It's never them.
I appreciate when they do black out the faces of the ones that they aren't. That makes sense to me, but if you're doing it to be sketchy, like if you don't want, like, if it's your ex-girlfriend, like, that's weird. Don't do that. But...
That's your only good picture is the one where you're standing together, like
right.
Really? Future skeleton. Absolutely, this is true for women too.
Yes.
100%.
Women are just as bad at this as posting only group photos, and this is not a treasure hunt. Like, do not make me solve this puzzle. If A is in picture 3 and B is in picture 2, solve for C who this actual profile is. Like, there's no need for that. Like, I am tired.
Yeah. Yes.
I am drained. I do not want to play this game.
You are the 100th profile I've looked at today. Don't make me do this.
Yeah. Don't make me work for it.
I agree with Elle Hanley about people who do triathlons and Ironmans. I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. to go to one of those, so probably not going to work out.
Nope.
Definitely not running through the fire with you.
I'm afraid is that I would like, you know, swipe right and match with a person who did like triathlons and stuff, because I would be like, that's cool as hell. And then they would like drag me along to one, and all of a sudden I would find myself like covered in mud and like not know how I got there, and like hating every single moment of my life, because it's something that I'm like, those seem kind of cool. Like I would love to be able to do one of those. I can't.
I admire the commitment. I admire that you spent time preparing for this.
I would be so nervous that I would get sucked in.
Yeah. Like, and they get me because the one of them has inflatables, and I'm like, I'm sorry, wait, I get to climb on literally a gigantic bouncy thing, and it's like, yeah, but you have to run in between. I was like, oh, that's bullshit. No, it's bouncy castle or nothing.
We can rent our own bouncy castles.
True. That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Post
Yeah.
a group pic. Do it. Just don't get mad when I ask about your friend.
He would do that too, I feel like.
Hey, sorry to bug you. You up? You up? Okay, yeah, girl, third to the right.
Yeah. What's her sitch?
What's her deal?
Can I get your number, baby? Boom, 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 boom.
Oh gosh, now I kind of just want to see Tony P's dating profile. Now I have questions.
Honestly,
Oh.
this is an open invitation. I will write a dating profile for anyone who needs it. I am a 100% success rate with dating profiles that I have written.
Oh, I love it.
I
love
feel
it
like
so
that info is skewed, but I'll take it.
Weird. Weird.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I love it so. I also love. I don't see a ring on your dad's finger.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, it gets. Oh, and I'm not quite to that point yet in age, but it's on that tipping point of like, could date you, could date your dad, and I'm just like, oh, this is a weird new world that we're in. Oh, okay.
Really? Yep. It depends on the age gap, honestly. Like you can be a dad at 18. I mean, there's a bit that's close enough.
Yeah. Oh goodness. I'm just thinking about all the bad conversations and all of that. And yeah, I think I'm spoiled because just in what has been happening in chat, which, hey, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you should join us on first and third Mondays on twitch.tv/almostdailypod because the chat conversation is great. And I think I'm 100% spoiled by that because our community is so great and we have this lively conversation and I love that about it. And that's what I'm looking for meeting these people. And it is very difficult to find that. And speaking of what I love our community. I especially love our community who contacts us at inadditionpod@gmail.com. And for my show, The Love Tonight, I want to read an email. I am just like Blue's Clues. I am that excited. So running through it quickly, he says, hey ladies, I just wanted to send a quick email to say thanks for your most recent episode of In Addition Pod about what scares you. You both really made me think about things. As a big guy, I've been aware that while wandering around on my own, I can be intimidating at night, and I try to make a point of crossing the street, giving plenty of space, etc. But the points you both raised about being aware and situational awareness at all times really gave me pause for thought. Steph, your life experience really stood out for me. I do active shooter training both at work, but I've never been in the situation where I've actually had to put it into practice for real, and that hit me really hard. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm not the most loquacious person in the world, and I will wind people up if I can for the sake of banter, but keep doing what you're doing. So, tremendous thank you to the person who sent us that email. It meant a lot. It really did. You want to talk about the last time I cried? That was not the last time, but that one brought tears to my eyes. So thank you very much. Thank you for the people who show up to the show, the people who write us and comment at us and listen and download every week. And also tremendous big thank you to the amazing Jess who came out and joined us tonight. So let people know where they can find you so they can follow your stuff.
You can find me on Instagram at RagingLadyBoner, on Facebook, Raging Lady Boner Podcast, or you can follow my personal stuff, but usually I just rant about politics. So enter at your own risk for those. So yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. This is so fun.
Thank you for doing this. Oh, Swan froze, but
yeah, no, this was awesome. And if you want to find more of me, yeah. You can find me at Swan named Emily. Sometimes my internet works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, but follow us. We're at An Addition Pod. I give up on this stupid internet, but send us emails. We love hearing from you. And yeah, swipe right on us if you see us on dating sites. Actually, don't, because it's probably not us. So yeah, thanks. Bye. Fucking internet.
It always pulls through at least.
Okay. I think that was enough time for Charles.
Oh, how much time does he need?
More than we gave him, which to be fair, we would be like, we love you, bye. Okay, hi chat. And there's no break in the audio. So to be like, where does
Nope,
this
that's fair.
episode end? Where does the next one begin? Which
Charles is
sorry,
supposed to be
Charles.
the rock god, so I feel like he should be able to handle that either way, but
I do. For that, I feel his editing pain, because if you're doing it visually, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So we love
Sorry,
you,
Charles.
We're sorry.
Thank you.
He's gonna skip over
yeah.
this because he's just gonna go to the next music cue.
Yeah, it's true.
But we love him anyway.
We do.
Hell yeah, Stealth. Get that
Heck
down.
yeah. Saturday, baby. I go for shot number 2.
oh, my second one's tomorrow. I'm so nervous about how bad it's gonna be, but I'm glad to have those antibodies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, get that. Put me down for the count. Cook me till I'm roasted.
Yeah.
No.
Give me
I
those
don't want-
nanobites.
Give
Yes,
me those-
also-
give me that 5G.
Elle Hanley mentioned thinly veiled bitter rants about their exes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't get to that part, but like men who put like no drama in their bio, I'm like, okay,
Oh
so
my
you're
God.
a drama magnet. You've only dated dramatic people. Or if they're like, I value loyalty. I'm like, okay, we know what happened to you in the last 6 months. So
yeah.
I love the what is it? Looking for someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously.
cool.
I don't
Like,
actually know what that means.
I feel like I don't know if you've seen this, but the amount of men who have the like, if you don't look like what your profile pictures look like, you're buying me drinks until you do. I've seen it on multiple men's profiles.
No, I didn't see that at all. That's such bullshit.
Which is irony coming from the men who like have pictures where they're like wearing the puka shell necklaces, and I'm like, dude, this is from literally like 1999.
2001, baby.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry, would you like to get into a discourse about the psychology of attraction in that men are attracted to the physical first? So I need to at least lure you in to get you attracted, and then we can talk, and then you'll fall in love with my brain and my mind and my stupid puns. But like, this is not how that works, baby.
Nope.
Yeah. There was like a TikTok trend where women were like,
yeah,
if I go missing, don't use pictures from my Instagram because that's not what I actually look like. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what we have to look like
Right.
on our dating apps. Comes off later, guys.
Oh, you trickster, you deceit. Or
I do love the flip though. And I did not, again, there's now that I've spent more time on, like Instagram reels and, people sending me TikToks and stuff. I love the one where they talk about, women catfishing men with the makeup and everything like that. And then the flip side to that of hat fishing, where it's like, oh baby, you look good in a hat. You don't look good without that on. Like, what's happening with that hairline, bro? Like,
or beards though.
Then they get real.
Oh,
The beards. If you have a beard when we start dating, you got to keep that beard. Sorry, that's the rule. I'm like Alexis in Schitt's Creek when she's like, you didn't talk to me about this whenever her like really hot boyfriend shaves his beard. And he's like, why would I? It's my beard. I'm like, no, I'm on Alexis's side on this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good Alexis impression.
I have only watched a season and a half of Schitt's Creek. And
Oh,
it's one
keep
of those
watching.
shows that I know. I know I'm gonna love it so much because like I've based so much of my personality around Alexis anyway.
Already.
I just like need to like find the time to devote to it.
if you like getting invested in people and like in characters, you will love it right around season 3. That's when I like started crying on about episodes, and I was like, all right, they got me now. Like they're kind of just shitty up until that point, and then like they get you, and it's really great. And then I sobbed through the finale and broke my heart. So Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Anyone need
Is
a break?
Emily frozen? Oh, she's good. Okay.
She's back.
I'm
Yes,
frozen
yes.
again. I don't know what's happening.
All right.
No, I don't know why.
You good? I know, Tony. I like, and that's the thing is that I started watching it and I know I need to. It's on that list. It's also on like, you know, those shows that like have been hyped up so much and like you know you're going to love, but you're kind of putting it off because like so you can have a treat when you finally make it to whatever point. Like just
The next pandemic, you'll have it for the next pandemic.
right. I know though. I promise I will get there. All right. Speaking of Schitt's Creek.
Hey, Trash Pandas, you're listening to An Edition with your adequately perfect hosts, Emily Swan and Stephanie Crugnola.
What's up, ya trash pandas? It's me, Kruggles, here with, in addition, part of the Almost Daily Pod family. You can find us on Monday nights, the first and third Monday of every month at twitch.tv/almostdailypod. And if you're listening with your ear holes, you've already found us there. So congratulations. We love you. We are joined today by everyone. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3.
Raging Lady Boner!
We are here with us today. Thank you so much for being here, Jess.
I'm so excited. This has already been so fun. So I can't wait for the next half of this.
Yeah, this is exciting to me because we all know that it's been trash year and all of our cons last year got canceled and we still are, the future is uncertain, but I think the one thing that is pretty certain is that there will be cons again. We will have a chance, whatever they look like, we will have a chance to do cosplay.
Bow, 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 bow. Cosplay.
We will have the chance to do this once again. Now, my first con experience was Dragon Con 2019. That was the only time I've ever been to any convention of any kind. Yeah, and we did some cosplay for that. But like, I found myself, it was like August, and I was like, who am I going to cosplay? That's too late, dear listeners.
Apparently.
It was quite late to really think through, because when you say like, oh, who am I going to cosplay? All of a sudden, every single fictional character that's ever existed and 0 fictional characters that ever existed. So tonight we're going to hash out some of those characters. We're going to talk about who we want to cosplay, who some of our plans are, who you all think that each other should cosplay, who you want to cosplay, who you want me to cosplay. We're just talking cosplay. So
Yes.
this is a good time to note our email address, inadditionpod@gmail.com. Send in your cosplay ideas. Send us your best cosplay. Send us your pics. Like, if you are super proud of a cosplay you've done in the past, send it to us. We'll share it. We'll be like, hey, look at this dope ass cosplay that this person did.
Heck yeah.
Love it.
Heck yeah. Well,
the reason why I gasped is because I thought you were like a long-term Dragon Con goer. My first year was supposed to be last year, 2020, going to Dragon Con. I've been to like smaller cons before, but I've never been to like a full-on like Dragon Con level event. So obviously that got canceled. So this year will actually be my first Dragon Con. I'm so excited.
Yay!
And I have
I'm
so
so
many
excited.
questions. I'm ready.
Yeah, this was 2019 was our first trip. And it was like we got this taste of it, and now I am itching to go back so badly. Swan, you're a little bit more, I know 2018 was your first Dragon Con.
So 2019 was my first Dragon Con. I have been to many, many, many conventions, but I had never been to Dragon Con before 2019. But no, I'm in the exact same boat. Like, I got a taste of it. And then even with the badass digital convention that we fucking pulled off last year, like, I'm just like, no, I need it. I only got one hit, but I need it.
Let's be honest. Tony is the only person who put on costumes for last year's Dragon Con.
That's true.
His end of night footy pajamas were the hit of the convention.
Oh my God, it was so good. I was like, you look snuggly AF, and I'm here for it. No, and so it's been an interesting thing. So I started doing conventions in 2011, but I started that as an artist. And a big part of it was I have zero to no sewing skill. I'm not crafty. I'm not great at costuming. Like when I have to do dance costumes, my mom helps me. But also, and this was kind of an important part because I was an unknown artist in Artist Alley. I wanted to not only wear clothes that I was comfortable in because I was very uncomfortable sitting behind the table and being a used car salesperson, which is not my natural state. So I wanted to meet people and network as myself. I didn't want to do it in costume. And I had enough going on with my booth that I didn't want to add extra to it. But I would see the most amazing cosplay come up to my table and be like, I need to take pictures. Like I would go running out from behind my booth to take pictures with people because I'm like, you look so cool. And they're like, you could do this. I'm like, I super can't, but I'm amazed at you. Like I do this stuff, you do that stuff together, go team venture. Like that's awesome. But again, I'll admit with being an attendee at Dragon Con, I was like, oh shit, I could cosplay. I could do that because I'm not really there. Like I'm there to network, but not in the same way. And I'm not getting a booth. So, ooh, interesting.
Well, I was talking to Tony P about this, and he told me that since this is my first year, I shouldn't do any cosplay. So I'd like your opinion on that opinion.
Tony, get wrecked.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought, but I wanted a second opinion. Thank you.
So, yes, here's my honest opinion on that. You are driving distance to the convention.
Mm-hmm.
So I would plan for a couple cosplays. I wouldn't necessarily plan to go like all out morning, night, every day. Like have clothes on hand that you're comfortable in that are cool. Plan cool, like airy cosplays.
Yeah.
And like what
breathable,
and ones that are like comfortable enough as clothes that you don't feel like you're not like wearing like a giant insect space suit that has 15 legs when you don't know how to navigate the halls. And like I think that that's probably because like I did Kaylee from Firefly, so I was in coveralls. And like that was enough for me because like I felt like I was part of it. I was doing it. I had drawn on the coveralls, all like the stuff and the patches. And so like this is what Tony, I think, great advice is that your shoes are super important. So like make sure you're cosplaying something that you can wear shoes that you're comfortable in, that you've worn before, that aren't like stilettos necessarily, unless you are like good at walking in stilettos all day. So like I think temper his advice with do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And know that you have options for comfort as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can do that. I'll also say, and this is kind of fun, and I mean, again, I've given props to him before. Tony P is a great resource for understanding Dragon Con and navigating Dragon Con. So first year I went, I didn't know more than 2 people. Hopefully you can hear me. So I didn't have anybody to be like my backstage person. So if I was going to cosplay, I was going to be completely in charge of it. And I was at the Botched House. Do you know how many of the girls were at the Botched House? 0. So if I wanted help with anything, you weren't staying at the Botched House.
You're right, I wasn't staying. Yeah, I was there that one time for 2 hours.
That one time, yeah. So, but I didn't know. And I was like, I have so many variables that I'm unsure of. that I can't handle this one more thing. But now that you know, like, you'll have Steph, you'll have me, you'll have other people that you've met, like, you've got that support system to, like, hey, I need a lace up, and be like, yeah, we got you. Like, just let us know when. And like, that part of it alleviates some of that, like, first time stress. Yeah. Like, but the shoes, 100%, like, comfy shoes all the way.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not doing heels at Dragon Con. That sounds like my personal hell. I don't do heels in general, so.
Yeah, I do heels, but I do not do heels at Dragon Con. I am building all of my cosplay ideas around comfortable shoes and heat. Like Mike said in chat, he was Wash and I was Kaylee. Wash's coveralls have sleeves. Kaylee's don't. Mike was miserable because he was so hot. He looked rad as hell, but like, he was so sweaty, and I was like, woo!
Yeah.
With my no sleeves.
Oh, I love it. I have another big question about cosplay. What counts as cosplay? Because I feel like we were chatting, I think, in one of Emily's streams about, like, you had mentioned you were going to do a New Girl cosplay, and I'd been like mulling over, like, I really would love to do that, but like, does New Girl count as cosplay? Because it's not really nerdy, it's just like pop culture. So is pop culture cosplay?
So I think, and I'm not, anyone feel free to correct me in chat. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there are like official rules somewhere, but my unofficial rules from someone who just wants to have fun and loves fictional characters is if a fan of that medium would recognize you, that's cosplay. So like, for one of the ones I'm planning, it is an iconic outfit from New Girl. So like, if I saw someone at a convention or like walking down the street, nobody would be, if you were walking down the street in this outfit, like, I mean, good for you, but like, probably less likely. If I saw you, I would say, oh, like, if I'm a super huge New Girl fan, I would say, oh, that's just from New Girl. Maybe 99% of the people don't recognize it, and I think that's okay. Because people do mashups as well. Like, there was a really cool, Mike and I will watch the YouTube videos of like cosplay from past Dragon Cons and stuff, and there was a mashup of Game of Thrones and Disney princesses. It was like Jon Snow White.
Oh, I love
like,
that.
Yeah, they were so clever. so clever. Like, that redhead was Ariel / the redhead. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but whatever. I know she's a thing. Ygritte.
Oh, okay.
I watched it. I don't remember the names, so
I would have made her Merida, but yes.
Sure. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but
hi. I don't know what you're doing.
So yeah. So basically, I think that like it can be something that is all of your own. To me, I would want like a fan of that thing to be able to recognize it. But that's like just a me thing. That's the rule I gave myself. I don't even think, like Tony says, everything counts. People cosplayed Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
And so to that point, yeah.
It was Sansa, apparently. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
Like,
there's a lot of redheads on that show, so
Pittsburgh is a weird show. Internet. I can hear you. There we go. Maybe again. Who knows? But like, so in Pittsburgh, a very weird show, but I had a lovely girl walk past me and she was in this really cool outfit. I was like, hey, I love your costume. I don't know. And she's like, it's not from anything. I just signed it. I'm like, that's actually really cool. Like, you had this thing that you liked and you just did. But also, like, when you're talking Jess from New Girl or Kimmy Schmidt, when you get that person who recognizes you, it is exciting on both ends. Like, you're like, oh, wait, are you? And you're like, yeah, I am. And like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And like, that's almost even more fun because then you have that person who saw it and got it.
Right. Well, and like Tony says in chat, people do original characters. Like, for our D&D show, we dressed as our characters, and that's our intention. You know, if we have another live show, I built my season 2 character to look like someone I want to cosplay.
Like a
I was like-
specific character, or you just like thought it was cool looking and that's what you wanted? That's how
When I was deciding on like hair color and clothes and like all of that, I was like, this is what I want to cosplay as. So like I built it with that in mind.
No, I love that.
Which I don't know if that's the right way to build a character, but like she's super dope. And so that was just something that it's not going to be recognizable because it's an original character. But I think it'll be interesting to see if people are like, oh, are you for something that I've like never heard of? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So plans.
Yeah, but
Thoughts?
even in that moment, you get to be like, no, but I am this thing, and here's my podcast. You should listen if you like it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I would love to do the opening sequence New Girl with like the frame and the Jess and the red dress. Like I would love I wouldn't get bangs, I would just wear a wig, but because bangs don't agree with me. But I would love to do that. So that would be like my easy one. And then I think I would love to do like I have a Wonder Woman corset, like, and I've already started spending too much money in my head on getting it to the way that I want it to look, but it's gonna look amazing if I pull it off. So just touch my neck. But yeah, that'll be my second one. So I'm excited.
Awesome. And those are two perfect cosplays,
Yeah.
especially for like a first year, because they're gonna be something that you're proud of and something that like you've put together and something that you're comfortable in. And like if I see someone walking around like as Jess Day from the opening credits, I will be all over that.
Yeah. True.
So exciting. Swan.
So again, so my one plan that I've already again started spending money for last year was Bowsette. Because she had like I got a hand me down like old prom
Hand me down old prom
bridesmaid dress. I think it was.
Hand me down old bridesmaid dress. Got it.
Yes, hand me down bridesmaid dress. And I got a corset, so I'm gonna do Bowsette because that seems super fun. And even though it's not as relevant anymore, it's a costume, I think, and it's mostly black, which I love. Because I once saw a post that was negative towards a cosplayer who was larger sized. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
No, we can. And I'm
so I saw a post. Okay, I saw a post as an incredible girl who was dressed as the TARDIS, and she had a dress that opened up and showed the inside of the TARDIS, and it was goddamn gorgeous. And the hate she got online was, well, she's just bigger on the outside. And it made me so mad, but it also simultaneously made me so insecure about cosplaying as someone who's not skinny that anything I ever thought about doing, I was like, but I don't look like this character. And I'm mad about that because like it shouldn't be that way. But at the same time, now at Dragon Con, all bets are fucking off. And I don't give a shit because it's Dragon Con. So I'm going to be Bowsette. I'm going to be Linka from Captain Planet because she's blonde. And again, low budget cosplay is where I'm at. But beyond that, like at other shows, it's a totally different thing.
Yep. And it really is Dragon Con was one of the most like inclusive and supportive places I've ever been for that many people. It was wild how just supportive and thumbs up all day everyone was. And so like that makes me feel a lot more comfortable doing like doing a thing I want to do, especially like the cosplay I have in mind for the New Girl one. Like it's going to take a lot for me to like, do that cosplay, but like, I'm so excited about it. And I know that Dragon Con is the right place for it.
I do. It's not like it didn't cross my mind. Like obviously like cosplaying as like a plus size Wonder Woman, like you don't not think about those things usually. But like part of me is like, why wouldn't that be cool to you? Like to be like, that's amazing. Like, yes, it's cool when they look just like the character, but also like when they look good, but also not exactly like them. Like, and they change it up or they just like do it in a way that makes them look good. To me, that like, I know that there's hate out there, but part of me is like, just be cool, guys. Like,
Yeah, just be cool. Also, we know, like, first of all, I'm sorry, like, plug your ears. Maybe some of you, but like, Wonder Woman isn't real.
right.
She's not a real person.
Yeah.
So any actor that has played Wonder Woman is playing a version of the character that is themselves.
Yes.
So like, why we don't embrace that and celebrate it will never like make sense to me.
That is my beef with any version of that argument. Like when they made Ariel black and people were like, oh, you can't make her black. And I'm like, she's a freaking mermaid. She lives under the sea. Why? Like, she probably more likely would be that skin color. Like,
she's a character in a
they're literally fairy tales.
She doesn't look like my childhood. Well, I'm sorry that, like, oh my god, you can't even. Also, I think like gender bent cosplay is also something that's incredible to me. Like, the fact that you can put your Tony, don't get me started on Jesus. The fact that you can put your spin and your stamp on a character is like that's what it should be. It should be just a total celebration of these fictional characters that we all love. So like a lot of yelling there. Let's turn to me too.
What else are you planning, Steph? I know you're thinking about the New Girl thing. You had something else planned though, I thought.
Yeah, I have a couple other things planned, and this kind of leads into my next question, which is about making your cosplay, or like if how, and Jess, you kind of touched on this earlier, how you like what supplies do you, is it all like built, is it stapled together? I am very, very lucky because my mom is a seamstress, and so I called my mom couple months ago and I said, hey mom, I got her and my dad into watching Doctor Who. I don't even know how or why. I think I was there for like Christmas one year and I was like, hey, watch this show, I love it. And they did. They were like, this is awesome. And I was like, okay.
They just went all the way back to the beginning of Doctor Who and like that's like how long?
Let's start in the 60s. So I was like, mom, I want to be the 13th Doctor for Dragon Con. And I need your help because I need to build a coat. And she was like, okay. And so then maybe like a month went by or whatever, and they got HBO Max and they started watching the new seasons. And immediately she was texting me. She's like, I have this idea. I can do this. Here's a fabric that I can use for this. Here's a fabric that I can use for this. Go to this website and see if you can find a fabric that you think is good for this. And I was like, oh wow. It's like she had fallen in love with Jodie Whittaker and like understood why I like desperately wanted to do a 13th Doctor cosplay, because I had just seen it and she blew my mind. I love her. I love her 13th Doctor. But so she's making me a 13th Doctor coat, and I almost guarantee she's gonna make me the pants and probably the shirt as well, because like she can't help herself.
That's so convenient to have like not only someone who like is talented enough to do that, but also like equally as enthused as you are to do it and be like invested in it. Like, let's do this. That's going to make it so much more fun.
It really is, because then it becomes like this project that we've done together, and like all of the pictures that I'll get to take about it. It's like she'll be like there with me in a coat. And then when I convince her to also make me one of Morgana's dresses from Merlin.
Okay. Might take some convincing.
Well, to be fair, a dress like that is almost more up her alley than a coat is, because like she started in skating dresses. So my sister skated, so like she started in that area. And so like wearable clothes are less, she's like Lycra all day. So the coat is a little bit more intimidating to her than like a chiffon dress would be. So
okay, that makes sense.
Like, if I just mail her the fabric, she'll have to.
Yeah. She can't say no once it's on her doorstep.
Right. She can't say no to this face. To answer your question, Kilted, I would have pegged you for a 10th Doctor. Kruggles, I've been doing a rewatch, and David Tennant is my all-time favorite everything. But I also love Matt Smith. Obsessed with Matt Smith as the Doctor.
Yeah.
Also, obsessed with Jodie Whittaker. So, like, I can't choose. Don't make me.
Yeah.
So my question is, what is if like supplies, sewing, if like someone came up to you and said, I will make you this, you'll feel so confident in it, it'll be perfect for you. What's the cosplay you want to do?
Mercy from Overwatch. So
Mike made a
big
face, so
ass-
I'm Googling it.
big ass angel wings, big old staff, badass robot shit, like mecha goddess. That would be my, like, especially with the people who get the fucking wings to work. Like, you want no budget cosplay? That's what I want. I want Mercy from Overwatch.
That's super cool.
Oh, you're making me think, because part of me is like, well, I would just do the Wonder Woman movie that just came out. Well, that came out a few years ago. The first one was just like, I cried my whole way through that movie, just because, like, I don't know about you guys, but like watching women in like superhero movies, like, just hasn't really been a thing. Like, they don't get leading roles, and I felt like I identified so much, even just like with watching her like fight through like the battlefield. Like, I was just sobbing the whole time.
So hot AF.
Yeah,
she's so hot.
Now you know for hours. Like, what?
And also
so
just
hot.
like muscular and like just like freaking gorgeous. They picked a very good Wonder Woman, in my opinion. I would love to do a full vintage Wonder Woman get up. I don't necessarily love the new ones, but I love the vintage. For myself, I would want to do the vintage Wonder Woman, like cape, star printed like bottoms, boots, the whole thing. I'd love to do that.
Well, you talk about the really cool designs. I loved the entire run of the DC Bombshells. So it was all like amazing, badass DC women done as like pinup girls, and like Black Canary is like a lounge singer, but she's got like, you know, the pencil skirt and this whole thing. And you've got Batgirl with like a baseball outfit. I was like, I want all of that. Yes, please. Oh shit, that's fucking dope. So
there's something that I think is, and I haven't, like, the only fictional character I've cosplayed is Kaylee, but like there's something so empowering about like taking on the at least costume of this like badass character that you're like, this is me. Like, you're embodying it. It kind of like gets into your blood a little bit. Like, you just feel radder.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, there's something so cool about that to me.
I agree.
Oh, Tony says he's showing up as the ultimate warrior. I love it.
Tony, don't make me Google that.
But also, like, I love, you know, we talk about like mashups and variations. Like, I love the idea, and I see a lot of people, I think the boys talked about it at one point, but if you go to Disney, you can't cosplay per se, but they do like dapper days. So it's you in like pinup versions of these characters, and I love it so much. So even like that, although it usually means that girls in like T-strap heels, and I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for Chuck Taylors and well reinforced sneakers. But like that part of it where like you're kind of embodying the character, even though you're not doing it exactly. Like, even that, I was like, I just feel good. Like, I look good. I feel good. Yeah. And I love that.
Is this kind of like that? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I ran across this thing. You guys can tell me like what the deal is with this like bunny hutch situation at Dragon Con. Have you heard of these before?
Is it everybody as like the Playboy bunnies, but all in the different
It's
versions?
like you take like someone you cosplay and turn it into like the Hugh Hefner bunny. So it's like your pinup thing reminded me of that. So like they'll take like the Joker and make it into like a pinup like bunny that would like show up at like, you know.
Yeah.
You have those
fun.
parties.
Okay, so real talk, you want to talk the one bunny cosplay I would do is Bridget Jones from Bridget Jones's Diary when she shows up to the party and no one else is dressed up. Like that's the one that I would do. Or like, oh,
Elle Woods.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Actually, an Elle Woods cosplay would be really fun. Anyway,
Just getting ideas.
right?
Oh
We
my
only
gosh,
have
you
so many
guys.
days.
I would love to have like I want to have a clever idea. I want to like I keep coming back to the Disney Princess Game of Thrones because it was so clever and I want to be clever. So like listeners, help me be clever. I'll give you credit. I'll be like lover number 1 said to do this. And then I did. I don't know what that means. I would love to be a TF2.
I'm assuming Team Fortress. I'm guessing. But yeah, like I would love to know what viewers think. Like when you look at us, what do you see? Who do we? Oh, I also oh shoot. So I have not watched Archer, but there is there's a heavy set blonde character who's a little saucy, and I was like, yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah, I was like, I could probably pull that one off.
This is how you
And
get
Poobies.
Yeah.
You want ants? That's the quote I identify most with of that show because I hate
This is
ants.
how you get ants. No, I love Pam Poovey. She has this line where she's like, I have so much love to give. And that just like defines my life because she just like, everyone will sleep with Pam, but no one wants to date Pam. And I'm just like, oh, Lord.
Oh, God. Well, now it's getting too real, guys. I don't want to.
No. That was about me, not you.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Yeah. No, lever number 1, Team Fortress is super fun. So kudos to you on that. It's dumb fun, but I love it. Yeah, Future X Skeleton. If only I knew someone who could draw a tattoo and apply like a temporary tattoo to my back. If only I knew.
Do you?
I mean, I can submit my own designs to some of the places, and I just need someone to like literally iron it onto my back. But
I wasn't like that's what I was like. That's the part I was stuck on. I was like, I know you could draw a full back tattoo, but the idea of you applying a full body temporary tattoo, like the water and like the scraping of it, and I'm like,
I'm just laying on the ground. I'm just laying on the
roller.
Yeah.
You got a foam roller, and you're just going back.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. At the botched picnic, they're just like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, don't ask. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
But yeah,
oh my God.
Tell us what you tell us your cosplay ideas. Who are you planning? What are your favorite cosplays? What are some of the cosplays you've done that were total disasters? Send us those pics too. We want all of them.
Oh, I have one of those, and it was in college, and it wasn't a cosplay. Like I think it was a Halloween thing, but I thought I was funny, but again, the joke didn't land. So I dressed up in like business attire, and I was in college, so it looked out of place. And I put a name tag on that said 98.6, and they're like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm a temp." No, nobody got it. No one.
Okay, Jim from the office.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was bad. But I was like, we needed costumes, and I'm in college, and I have no money. Yep. So that was my big fail. That was my big fail costume.
So funny.
Well, now just for that Future X, I'm bringing that one back for Dragon Con. So,
Swan, I love that. You know what else I love?
What do you love, Steph?
I love listening to random clips of audio and trying to guess the source material.
Heck yeah.
I am on a podcast. Oh, there you got it. This Thursday called Audio Obscura, and it is at Audio Obscura online. And basically, it's exactly that. They give you like little clips, like 6 sections of clips from an audio source. And you have to try and use the clues to guess where it came from. It was a huge blast. It was a really, really fun show to do. There was a lot of yelling. I yelled about Lost. a lot because the host said he didn't like it. So I was like, well, yikes. But it was just like, it was a dang blast to get to do. So you can check them out wherever you find podcasts like this one, in addition, or our boy show, Almost Daily Discourse.
We're gonna call that the boy show. In addition, and the boy show.
Yeah. Also, when you're sending us emails, let us know what you think the in addition or the Almost Daily Discourse boys should be, the ADD boys. Like, I would love to know what you viewers and listeners think that they should dress up as.
Yeah, send us an email at almostdailypod. Nope, send us an email at inadditionpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, that one.
Almost Daily Pod, we'll get to them. So you can send it either place. You can find them Wednesday nights on twitch.tv/almostdailypod. You can find us every first and third Monday at twitch.tv/almostdailypod. Jess, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me. This was amazing.
So much fun. Let
fun.
people know again where they can find your show.
You can find me at RagingLadyBoner.com. I'm on Instagram at RagingLadyBoner, and I'm on Facebook somewhere. Just search for that name. I'm sure you'll find me. Thank you so much, guys. This is awesome.
This was so much fun. Thank you for being here. If you love me, you can find me at Kruggles online, or through my show Protest Too Much, which is a Shakespeare Showdown podcast at P2M Pod, or my Dungeons and Dragons show just finished its first 5-year campaign. So we just wrapped up 5 full years of D&D storytelling, and we are starting our next campaign on April 19th. So over the next couple weeks, you can see a whole lot of my face at SRSBIZ_network, because I'm going to be doing live videos every day to give you the world guide content. It's going to go a lot better than it did today, I promise. As always, you're wonderful. As always, a thing I say every single time. I love you all. Goodbye.
Oh my God.
If this is enough time, I worry about Charles.
He said 30 seconds, and 30 seconds is a long time.
30 seconds is a long time.
Yeah.
But he said it, and I wanted to respect his request. But it's too long. I think that'll be enough for him.
I think
15 tops.
Yeah, 15, a clean 15.
Yeah.
Oh God. Thank you so much, chat. Also, just for me personally, I'm so sorry about my internet. I restarted my computer. It seems better. I'm going to work on that for future things, and maybe it'll work better.
I feel like it worked out for the most part. You sounded pretty good up until you had to reset, and then now it's been great since then.
It just causes me much personal stress.
Yeah.
That's
So, yeah. No, but this was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming and hanging with us, Jess. I am so excited to hang with you at Dragon Con and drag you all around to all the things. And yes.
And I can drag you guys around to all the fun things too. Because Atlanta's so fun. Even though I feel like no one leaves Dragon Con. If you're at Dragon Con, you like don't want to leave Dragon Con.
We did. We went to a lunch. We walked to a lunch outside of Dragon Con. We did a few things because we were staying in an Airbnb, like it was about a mile away. So we were like outside of downtown for a little bit of it. Not for much, but like it was enough to kind of explore the tiniest bit of Atlanta. But
I moved too early because I did used to live like 2 miles from downtown, like on a MARTA stop where I could just bus in every day basically. And I moved like 2 months ago. So perfect timing to not be in the most convenient place ever.
But it'll still be nice because you'll be a little bit removed from the chaos of it.
And you could go home. You can go home and shower.
Yeah.
That's
I got a hotel.
It could be a vacation without being a stressful one.
Yeah, a little staycation. I never go downtown anyway, so.
We're driving this year, so as we're planning our cosplays, that's kind of where we have a lot more options and opportunity. So
that's like 12 hours, you said?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's good you and Mike like each other, because
yes.
We both also love road trips. 16 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yikes, Roni.
Yeah, it is good that they like each other and they travel well. It's funny to me though, because for a very long time I only traveled with my family and I love them dearly. They are very stressed travelers. Like very stressed. And then the person that I dated for a long time for again, all of his faults, was a very calm traveler. And like that, some of that rubbed off on me. So like certain things that we would do and how we would plan it, like made it easier to do these big travel trips. And I have adapted that. So I am less stressed when I travel, which is nice. But at the same time, like also driving from where I'm driving, not wanting to carpool with the boys out of Gettysburg. I'm just like, no, I'll fly. It's fine. I can wear a whole lot of layers and pack one bag and we'll just do that.
Mike says in chat, hi, the unstressed traveler here. Checking in from off camera. And it's true, but like, I just am like, first of all, I'm stressed about everything. Second of all, I really enjoy traveling and I want it to be as efficient as possible. And so I want control over everybody else involved. Like I want control over the other passengers in the TSA line to be efficient with their baggage stuff because I am efficient with my baggage things. So I would like for them to be efficient as well.
Yeah.
If we're in a rest stop on a road trip, I would like for people to be efficient in lines. And that's not always the case. And like, that's annoying to me. But like, other than that, road trips, I think I'm a little less stressed than.
Yeah, you do have more control with road trips. Flying stresses me out because you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. Atlanta is notorious for having either no lines or like 3 hours of security lines. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's been interesting traveling more. And this is such a weird thing, but because for the most part, I fly by myself. Like I don't travel with a lot of people. So like I feel very in control of my own world and I not stressing about someone else almost alleviates some of the stress in my brain because I get there when I want to get there. I sit where I want to sit. Like I am the master of my own universe. And even though it's boring sometimes because you're by yourself and I send a lot of Snapchats to people, like I still get to control, just what's happening to me and I don't have to think beyond that. And that's kind of relaxing in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's a thing. Like I'm never stressed about Mike. Almost never.
No.
He is much less concerned about getting there 2 hours early than I am. But like once we're on our way to the airport, smooth sailing. It's just all of the rest of the people in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people we can't control.
Right. The people we can't control that I have a problem with.
I'm very curious, just from what I've seen of people in like the grocery store who now when they're wearing masks assume that they're wearing blinders and can't see anything perfectly. Like, can this not be a thing that we take to traveling? Like, can we just be a little bit aware of our surroundings and not quite so tunnel vision? That would be nice.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Yeah, I had to rush one gate. I had to run my flight from Detroit to Dallas was delayed and I had to land in Dallas and run to the other gate.
Fault, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say none of that was me. And like they'd at least radioed ahead and there were a few of us, but like they get there and they're asking you questions and I'm just like, I can't breathe. I just ran through your whole airport. I can't breathe. I'm just like, okay, you can go. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, I was flying, I guess, through Heathrow with my choir. We were going to like Germany to tour, and our plane was so late. They literally like stopped everyone on the plane. They were like, "Let this group of like 30 people off the plane. They're all gonna miss their flight if you don't." Yeah. I felt very important in that moment.
Yeah.
the only one I've ever almost missed, but we made it. So
yeah,
heck yeah.
Oh,
this was a blast.
This was so fun.
Yeah.
I missed it last week. I missed doing a week.
Yeah.
You could always do it every week, guys. You're like, no.
Considering Yeah, I was gonna say, considering I don't actually know where March went, like I don't know if I have it in me. I don't know anymore. Like as people in the area are getting vaccinated and things are opening up, like I'm looking at my schedule and just like moving things around, and I'm just like, time is strange to me.
Yeah, I'm doing an online Shakespeare show, and I was trying to coordinate rehearsals with 22 people's schedules,
Oh Lord.
and the hardest one was my own. Like I was trying to like get everyone like into days that they could do, and I was like, well, I can't do first and third Mondays or Wednesdays or Tuesdays in May, or some Thursdays or Sunday nights. Like I can't.
It's the curse of having like multiple hobbies. Because like I have choir, we meet once a week. I go to the gym at least 2 nights a week, and then I do this, and it's just like, where are these people that don't have anything going on? I want their lives. I want their lives with the fulfillment of all the hobbies that I have. Where can I
Yeah.
find that?
Agreed.
Yeah, I think
All
the
right, y'all.
most like groundbreaking thing someone ever told me was schedule your free time, like purposely schedule like blocks of time that are free. And that was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I was just like, just be busy all the time and never stop. That's how you do it, right?
Yeah. But like Mike says, then you have he says a week off, and I would go so far as to say a day.
Yeah.
He was feeling ill yesterday, and
Aw.
I was so bored. And it wasn't his fault, like that I can't entertain myself for a freaking day alone. But I was like, it was like 3:00, and I was like, maybe I'll just go to bed. I was like, I can either eat or go to bed, but I cannot do this any longer.
Just end this day already.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Well,
I
thank
love
you
it.
guys again. It was so
Yeah,
good to
thank you
talk
for
to
doing
you.
this.
This was awesome.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
everyone
log
for
off.
being here, for watching. We love you. Bye.
Thank you.